To me, social media is just so crazy. I swear, nowadays, every time when I follow someone who who is very authentic or just themselves, I barely see them on my algorithm now. It's like I have to push the notifications in order for me to see their content when I am sharing things that are fun or different or personal or being vulnerable. Whether I get the engagement or not, social media just tends to like shift your thing into something else in order for people to follow me later on sees it. I swear when I'm putting myself on camera or doing something completely different, it's like I have to make a perfect angle, chasing perfectionism to show that I am being authentic, if that makes any sense. Lastly, I just feel like I'm performing more than I am being myself. Like, what happened to originality?
I'm your host, Heaven Sauda. You may know me as Hey Hev on my podcast, which I talk about different perspectives on life, challenges, music, and hopefully deep dives. I'm also doing my own seasonal reflections, which I just dropped recently for the spring, and hope you guys enjoy that refresher. So, in today's video, or as you guys can see from the title or the introduction, how does social media impact us? I've seen so many throughout these past couple of years from 2020 to 2025, 2026 posts that talk about I'm chronically offline. I'm taking a break. While you should take a social media break. Social media isn't the same anymore. You need a detox from social media. Some people even made topics about like people are being performative when they're taking a break. And the reason why I wanted to jump on the bandwagon of this topic was because I was inspired by my old topic when I was in high school. So I'm gonna try as be as short as possible, but fast forward this if you like, or I will fast forward it for you guys. So to make it short, the real reason why I decided to be nostalgic and pick this topic was in high school in 2018 or 2019. We were in my English class, we were just basically told to pick a topic that you don't talk about a lot and make an essay about it, but it also has to be physical, hands-on project that you do based off that topic. And for that, I talked about how does social media impact us. Now, from there, I don't remember everything that I talked about in that essay. It's been years. But just coming from that time, I remember seeing so many videos that talked about minimalism or things were changing. You do see couple vlogs, you do see a lot of people were shifting into like hauls or from lookbooks to trying on things. And then too, TikTok was around, but it wasn't TikTok just yet. How impactful that was to me at the time was just the little things mattered. I even talked about in my minimalism video at the time or episode at the time about like just little things and little moments matter, because sometimes the littlest things make a big impact. But besides that, nowadays I see a lot of people don't even care for being on social media like it used to be. Because I remember when social media, I wasn't there with the whole 2016 culture moment, viral moments of things that were happening. But I was there when a lot of pop culture moments were happening. You had to be there, which is true. But prior to the conversation, you don't see a lot of people really being on there. And if I recall, I don't see a lot of people that I follow that are very authentic to themselves. It's like the algorithm pushes so much that's happening all at once just to get your attention, whether you can relate to the content or you a content creator, influencer, or just someone who desires to be that. And it's sad that I don't even see the people I follow anymore. It's like I have to push the notification button to see them, then I see the stuff that's pushing on my feed. When I came across a video, The Performance of Being Offline, I hope I said her name right, but I will put her video clips or title of the video in the description box. But the one thing that stood out to me was everything has been integrated with technology. If you think about it, like certain things nowadays are plugged in. Like you have your Apple Watches, you have things on your computer. Everything is tied down to your phone, or everything is tied down to certain devices that you have to kind of keep things yourself. And I remember seeing some people who are chronically offline videos, they would kind of even use physical media to kind of get back into the sense of their childhood. I remember DVDs. I remember watching movies on from Redbox, or you have a DVD player or a VHS. Yes, I had a VHS, and yes, I wasn't born at the time with that. But the point I'm making is when she mentioned that, it's like everything is integrated with technologies. Like you have Bluetooth, you have so many things that are connected, and it feels like you're taking a break, even if you're trying to, but it's still connected with technology. Even with saying that you're being offline feels a bit impractical. When she said that to me, it did feel like it's like you have to see the point that you're taking a break. And some people genuinely do take breaks because they need it for whatever they got going on in personal life. And lastly, is she mentions we struggle to complete tasks using fundamental skills. A lot of technology we're pacing is to build right now isn't about making life more livable. And right there, to me, feels like we're not living the life because we're so addicted to our phones. We're so addicted to the things that's quick fixes. I am one of those people that tends to gravitate to being on my phone even right now. Even being on my computer, like today, I was trying to find ways to keep myself entertained while I was on my phone still. Like you see what I'm saying? You don't need it all the time. You have to have a balance with it. And I enjoyed watching that video because it brought a sense of understanding the performance and actually doing it. Check that out. I used to be kind of ashamed of when I first started out being on social media. Whether that was deciding I was going to eventually become a content creator, going back into YouTube, showcasing the multiple interests I am passionate about, or just simply just existing on the internet. And just to share a little bit background about me prior to this topic was that when I was about 15, 16, I used to do like nail stuff and on my old channel, and I would showcase like different nail designs because I was having fun and just testing out what I like to do and sharing those little moments. And I eventually dived into lookbooks because I remember lookbooks used to be the thing, and I think we really actually need to bring that back in a way as a style and fashion topic for another time though. But I'm just saying that I was ashamed of doing that because it was shy. I'm still shy a little bit, but I was definitely very shy, did not know what direction I was taking. But I still showed up to be creative in my own way, in my own world when I created that channel and to showcase that funness of just doing things that I liked. And nowadays, I feel like seeing people who showcase different things on their hobbies on social media has brought a sense of goodness, and I hope that does help people to be more realistic with themselves of how impactful the goodness, the pros, the cons of it. And speaking of things, I did ask a few people about how they view and how they take on social media, and let's dive into that. So basically, last week or a few weeks ago, I made a post story about how do you guys view social media. Some stated having good moderation with social media, and I agree. Having a better balance can make you go on social media in a different outlook. Fake and overrated, I agree, because let's be honest, everything does seem fake. Everyone's starting to look or sound the same, and it can be overrated at times depending on what it is. Beneficial and detrimental depends on on the purpose, and I agree, it has its pros and its cons. You can use it for your advantage to exceed, or it can start to become a downward spiral addiction, but they love to scroll. And I feel like they designed social media for you to keep doom scrolling now, because once before social media wasn't like that all the time. Everything's all in your face. Some people said it lacks of education and it wastes your time. Again, it does, like, depending on who you follow, it can become educational. But then sometimes other things that pop up or whatever else that the algorithm shows, it starts to feel like you're wasting your own personal time. You're scrolling and dang, it's almost time for you to get ready to head out for your day. Root of all evil. I think at times it does start to become more of a negative aspect of things. Like, you see certain things that whether you follow or you don't, and it's very sad. Like, if it's not the things that you follow and people just kind of bring down the mood, it's not always a good place to be on there. And lastly, connecting with others and sharing different ideas, different thoughts, and seeing that in a way where you feel like not a sense of belonging, but a sense of understanding everyone else's own life that's happening all at once. But I do agree that we should have a better way to view social media differently, because everyone uses it for their own livelihood.
Are we using social media, or is it quietly using us? Tune in for the next part.